Today, we're going to unpack something huge. We're talking about how our brains, these incredible ancient pieces of hardware, are literally being reshaped by the digital world around us. Let's dive into the mechanism of the modern mind. I mean, really think about it for a second. You know that feeling at the end of the day? It's not that you're tired from running around. It's that your mind is just saturated. Like you've hit your data cap for the day and there's just no more room. I think we all know that feeling pretty well. For a lot of us, it starts right here, with the endless scroll. It's almost hypnotic, isn't it? It's literally designed to be a bottomless stream of stuff that keeps our thumbs twitching and our minds buzzing, but never really feeling satisfied. And then, oh my gosh, there's this, our digital workspace. It's basically a perfect picture of what's going on in our heads. Every single tab is another thought, another task, another distraction, all open at the same time, all fighting for a little piece of your attention. And how about this one? This is a weird, kind of spooky one. The phantom buzz. That feeling, you know it, that your phone just vibrated in your pocket. So you pull it out and nothing. Our brains are now literally anticipating notifications that aren't even there. So what on earth is going on? Is this a sign that our brains are just glitching out, breaking under all this pressure? Well, here's the big idea we're going to explore. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a feature of a massive software update our minds are running on. Okay, so when we say mechanism of the mind, I want you to think of it just like your computer's operating system, right? It's the underlying code, it's the set of rules and neural pathways that basically decide how you process information, how you focus, and how you deal with the world. Now, to really get this new OS, we have to go back in time. We have to look at the original software our brains came with. Let's call it BrainOS 1.0. This is the system that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years, and it was perfectly designed for the world our ancestors lived in. And that world was the complete opposite of today. Information wasn't everywhere. It was scarce. It was valuable. Your survival depended on focusing on one single thing, like the hunt. And threats? They were right there, right now. A predator in the tall grass, not some abstract problem happening on the other side of the planet. And because of all that, the default state, the factory setting for BrainOS 1.0 was deep focus. Being able to concentrate for a long time wasn't a struggle you had to work at. It was a basic survival tool. Honestly, you could call it a cognitive superpower for that time. And then everything changed, and it changed fast. We're talking about a massive global shift. You could call it the Great Digital Rewiring. It was basically a system update that we never agreed to, but it started installing itself on our brains anyway. So what's pushing this update? Well, it's pretty much everything. It's that fire hose of the 24/7 news cycle. It's the constant ping, ping, ping of notifications. It's those social media feeds that are perfectly tuned to keep you scrolling. And it's the simple, crazy fact that all of human knowledge is just sitting there, in our pockets. Now, this whole rewiring process is powered by a really potent chemical reaction, the dopamine loop. It's super simple, but incredibly powerful. Here's how it works. You do something, like scroll or post. You get a tiny digital reward, like a like. Their brain releases a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. And then what happens? You want another hit. This loop is constantly training our brains to want more and more of that low-level stimulation. And the result of all that training? It's a fundamental cognitive shift. Our ancestral OS, the one built on deep focus and doing one thing at a time, it's being overwritten. The new default mode is shallow focus, constant rapid task switching, and an expectation of getting everything right now. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Is this all just bad, a total downgrade for humanity? Or could there be some trade-offs? Maybe this new mental operating system has its own weird strengths. It really seems to boil down to a trade-off between depth and breadth. So yeah, our ability to stay locked in on one deep task might have gone down. But what's gone up? Our ability to scan huge amounts of information, to spot patterns, and just maintain a really wide awareness of what's going on. We basically become expert information foragers. Which brings us right here to today. We are all running BrainOS 2.0. And look, the goal isn't to try and uninstall it and go back to the old ways. That's just not possible. The goal is to understand how this new system works so we can actually navigate the world a little better. You know, there's a quote that just nails this whole idea perfectly. We don't just use our tools, they use us too.
Our technology isn't just a passive thing we pick up and put down. It's actively shaping us. It's changing the very mechanism of how we think. We are being remade in its image.
So ultimately, this isn't really about saying one operating system is better than the other. It's about knowing which one is running the show inside your own head. Because once you understand the mechanism, that pull of distraction, that trade-off between depth and breadth, you get some of your power back. You get a choice. So the final question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. Now that you know how it all works, how are you going to choose to run your mind?